hope you're doing good. So today I'm going to be participating in SUMMERWEEN. So I sadly can't do a week of it because a whole bunch of stuff has come out basically. The books I want to get through are Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Para, The Wives by Taryn Fisher, The Last House on Needless Street, The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda. Then I have a couple of audiobooks which I think are going to be one of a Riley Sager book. I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be the only one left. Then Dead 11. I think I have another audiobook. The Push? I think it's called The Push. I have a whole bunch of cute things planned. I have a couple things that I want to watch that are very spooky. I have some baking to get done, doing a little bit of a skincare night as well. So I just hope that it all turns out fun. I have a blood test today to see if I have celiac. I am not looking forward to it at all. The last time that I did a blood test, they couldn't find my vein. They were rummaging around in it for ages. I got bruises all on my arms and it was like the worst experience. But basically it means that today is kind of a write-off day, and then I thought that that would be a good idea to do a readathon today. I want to do this readathon where I do read for 12 hours one day and 12 hours another day. As you can see, I did some decorating. I got a little pumpkin and a little ghost. So I think I want to start off with The Wives by Taryn Fisher. She's the same woman that wrote The Woman in the Window. Kind of excited to read this because I really wanted to read The Woman in the Window. However, I watched the movie and then obviously I can't really read the book after because then it's just like completely spoiled. Then I want to move on to this today, and then I also have audiobook. I'm aiming for 5 books because I feel like I could do it. No, it's about this one girl and she is known as Thursday, I think, and basically she only ever gets her husband on a Thursday, whereas all the other girls, they all get him on different days of the week. So I'm not sure how many wives there are. Like, the rule is you're not allowed to know who any of the wives are. She decides to start stalking the other wives. Not stalking, just having a little look-see on them. She ends up finding out that one of them is getting beaten. So she's like, is that my husband who's doing that? Really useless update, but I just want to read you a quote that I actually really like. So it's really weird. Like, she's got like full-on jealousy and she's talking about the wives, like really, like she wants to hear about them and she's so interested in them, and like she comes out in this like really weird jealousy about it. She's trying to be like the ultimate woman for him. She's like, be like really like, oh, like how was your day? I want to get to know every single part of you, even the part of you where you have to love other women. Like, the fact that he's okay with this, and the fact that like he's just so willingly like chatting to her about his other wives, about his kid, like so happy. I think there's only 3 wives. I didn't realise that. I thought there was like 7. There's Thursday, which is the girl that we're following, Tuesday and Monday. So Tuesday is the one that's apparently like a workaholic. She doesn't really have time to like do home cooked meals for him. Poor him, because he can't cook a home cooked meal by himself, can he? No. This poor guy and one of his wives can't cook him home cooked meals, and all she does is work. So he then has this wife. She is basically just the sex wife. Like, she gives him all she can in sex, because in her head, if she wants to compete, she has to be the best in something, and apparently she's the best in that. She does also cook him like full-on home-cooked meals, and so she tries to impress him through that way and just listen to him and about his day. It honestly feels like she's living for him. Like, when he comes, it's all about him. Like, how was your day? Like, I'm gonna cook you a meal. I'm gonna be the best like sex god ever to you, like rubbing me the wrong way. And then third one, she's just the poor really young one who's having a baby with this guy. It's so weird, the jealousy that she's talking about, and she's talking about like so like nonchalantly. I wanted to read you a quote because I thought it was kind of funny. The writing in this is actually really cool. It's very like like nonchalant and like it's really like chaotic. My existence is exhausting. All the games I play. This is a woman's curse. Be direct but not too direct. Be strong but not too strong. Ask questions but not too many. I just thought that was a vibe because like valid. I don't know, I just thought it was really relatable because if always too much of something then it's always bad because it is exhausting. Hello. So it's almost 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna be leaving soon. So I wanted to give a little bit of an update. I'm on chapter 6 now. I think I just want to know what is going on. That's like a big thing. So I'm excited that's like a mystery like I can figure out as we go along. It's getting crazy because I feel like at this point it's more of like a drama, like a relationship drama rather than like a thriller mystery. Honestly, I thought that it was gonna make me quite anxious and like be like a little bit of a trigger or something because I don't like cheating, and so obviously like having 3 wives in my head is like cheating. I know I'm getting a little bit anxious, but it's more just entertaining and like a what the hell sort of moment. I'm just so in awe of how jealous and competitive that she gets because it feels so weird. Like she's never gonna get him fully, like she's never gonna get all of him, she's never gonna be his only wife. So I just don't fully understand the point of trying this hard for someone who will never just be satisfied for just her. Does that make sense? I'm wondering, is that just like the manipulation side of things, like properly manipulated her to sit in his way? I'm not quite sure. I actually love how like feisty and funny she is. She's actually quite funny in her like inner monologues. It's just come to the part where he's basically asked like, hey, can I please see you less because obviously the baby's coming and I need to spend time with my family, like my other family, right? I was like, oh my god, I just cannot believe that she's his other wife and you'll be seeing each other equally. Like, what is he actually providing for the relationship? He's not giving her anything. The only thing he's giving her is his attention, and that's gonna be taken away. So like I feel like I need to stop reading now and just start like drinking loads of water. That's my plan. I'm just so scared. Go to a shop and get myself like something to treat myself, but then like I'm baking today, so maybe that can be my treat. Honestly, I might bring this with me so I can read it whilst I'm waiting, but I don't know how cringe that is. Hello. Okay, I'm back and I chucked on a new outfit, well, a new top, and I did my makeup so I can look presentable for you guys now. It went okay. Nothing bad happened. I had like 5 glasses of water before I left. She was like, when I went there, she was like, oh, are you okay with getting your blood taken? And I was like, no. I was like, no, I've had a really bad experience. She basically said like, have you drunk like, much water today? And I was like, yeah. She basically checked like both my arms which vein was like the best, because I said about how last time like they couldn't find the right vein and they just kept prodding it in everywhere and rummaging around. It's horrible. She basically checked my veins. She said that the veins are really prominent, which I was so happy about. I thought they weren't going to be. I was so happy that they were because I was so scared about that. I like start crying. Like I wasn't crying, just tears were streaming down my face and I couldn't stop it, like an involuntary response or something like that. Like I had no control over it. I was so embarrassed. She was so lovely and she made me count down from 100 and I kept like confusing my numbers because I was so like scared. Like she did it so well and there was no pain whatsoever. It was done so quick. Like I was in and out. My appointment was at 12:40. They're like 10 minutes late because you know what it's like in doctors. I must have been out by like 1, like after our little chat, and she's like, go get yourself something sweet to eat, and I was like, no, I literally will. I think that's basically our sign to go baking. This is my little thing. It's still very like, it's very sore. And I feel like I might bruise because I bruise quite easily and it's all just quite sore, and I'm like, anytime I think about it I want to like gag, and anytime I look at it hurts. Like I just can't. When I came back I had a bunch of book packages that I want to open. So I've got some book packages that I want to open and I'm really excited to do that. Just a little FYI, if you've watched my book haul and you saw me talk about how I need to buy books for my American Lit, I swapped modules because I looked at my American Lit reading list and Moby Dick was on there, right? I took one look at it. I was like, 720 pages. I read what it's about and I was like, so it has no storyline then. And then I looked at 2 reviews on Goodreads by these random girls I don't even know. One of them said she went on a date with a guy and he said that his favourite book was Moby Dick, so she decided to read it just to see. Then she was like, I know why now, because he was the most boring person I've ever met. So basically it's the most boring book. That like scared me. This one girl said that apparently her teacher said that Moby Dick is one of the only books that she's never been able to finish, and so this girl was like, oh well, I want to have like one up my teacher sort of thing. So she decided to read it, and then she said those are hours that I can never ever get back. And I was like, no. Then I decided to look at the Victorian Lit module reading list and I was like, stop it, because I get to read Charlotte Bronte and I love that in Victorian literature you can always do one massive class or feminist outlook on it, like, and analyse it that way. So I really enjoyed that. So basically I changed it to Victorian module and they were really good at changing it. I was so scared I wasn't able to, but they did. So now I bought some books for my Victorian module. I bought books for uni from Wilder Books. That's where all this is from, right? What they do is in the summer they're doing buy 3 and get the 4th one free. So what I thought was, if I buy 3 uni books that I buy, I bought myself a normal book, like book that I've read and enjoyed for free basically. So I bought Howl's Moving Castle and I'll Give You the Sun, but I don't think Howl's Moving Castle is here yet. So this is the collection of poems by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. It's so tiny, but it's the only pretty edition that I could find. All the rest look quite ugly. So this is Sonnets from the Portuguese and Other Poems, and I think I have to read all the Sonnets from the Portuguese. Sonnets from the Portuguese is only like 20 pages long in total. Actually no, I remember what made me want to do Victorian lit. I looked at all the reading lists, obviously Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I was like, yes, that sounds stunning. I read the first poem in Sonnets from the Portuguese and I actually loved it. I thought it was so funny and just so cool, and so immediately I was like, okay, I'm doing this module. So obviously you find all these poems online, which is so easy, but I wanted to have my physical copy because I really enjoyed that poem. So I was like, imagine if I read this whole collection, I could be like, I read poetry. Oh, this is funny. This is so funny. This is a library book. It's so funny. It looks so cool. So this is Return the Native by Thomas Hardy, right? I'm kind of upset because I bought a different cover, but on Wilder Books, basically, they can't promise giving the cover that you want because, especially the like multiple editions of it, because it might not always have it in stock. However, I looked at this one and I did like this one when I was looking at it, so I'm not too fast. Plus, it's a uni book and I might not even end up enjoying this. I'm excited for this. I got no idea what it's about. I got a bookmark that came with it and I get 10% off. So the next up is this big boy. I don't know why it's so big. Oh wow, there's just loads of books in it. That's funny, like wrapped it up. Okay, this one I'm so excited about. Okay, so I had to get this. I don't want to read this. I'm actually really, my whole heart and soul not looking forward to this. They told us to get it because they can't give it to us for free, right? Oh my god, why does he actually look kind of hot there? He looks like Anthony Bridgerton. Does he not look like Anthony Bridgerton? Maybe I'll read it then. I don't even remember why or what we had to read from this. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm hopefully not gonna annotate it that much so I can just get rid of it straight away because like it's an ugly cover and I just don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. They made us buy it, so I was like, okay, thank you. And then this is what I managed to get for free. I'm so excited about it. I got I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. This is one of my all-time favourite books, like one of my best books that I've ever read in my entire life. Basically, I got this one for free, so I'm so happy about that. This is basically a YA about two twins, well, a set of twins, and one is a boy, one is a girl, and it's from two different timelines. One where the boy twin is younger and it tells it from his point of view, and then I think like 3 years later or something like that, it's from the girl's point of view when they're all older. Something big happens between this space. You don't know what it is, you're trying to figure it out, but it's basically got two different romances. One where the boy's falling in love with a boy next door, and the second one is where the girl is falling in love with like this older guy or something like that. Is so good. I'm actually just obsessed with it. One of my all-time favourite books, and I'm so happy that I can finally own it because it can go to my favourite shelf now. I'm so happy. Oh my god, it's in such good condition. I'm so happy about that because this is the one that I really wanted it being good condition because I generally think I'm gonna love this book, so I wanted to have a nice copy of it. Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Well, that's cool. Okay, cool. So that's my little book haul. I got this from eBay, not World of Books, by the way. Okay, so now I think that I want to try and finish off Wives. I think I'm gonna try and read this tonight, this, and then an audiobook, and we can see where we end up from there. Okay, this is starting to get so interesting now. I don't even know what the hell to believe. Everything that I thought was true just isn't. Like, I genuinely don't know who to believe because it really is just unraveling everything that I thought was true. I do want to say that I love all of the girls. Like, I love all the women. All of them are so different and so unique and just so interesting, and I think they're also funny as well, and just very like strong women. I just want to read out something too, which I thought again was really relatable. She keeps like chucking in some really funny like feminist things in her, but now I see the truth. Women are stuck in a cycle of insecurity perpetuated by the way men treat them, and we are constantly fighting to prove ourselves and everyone else that we are okay. Sure, women occasionally lose their minds over men, but does that mean we're all unstable, or that men made us unstable with their careless actions? Like, isn't that just so funny? Like, relatable. You know, like when someone cheats on you and they're like, stop being crazy, stop being so insecure, and you're like, am I insecure and crazy, or is it your actions that are making me insecure and crazy? At this current moment, I don't know whether he's like the biggest master manipulator, spin this massive web of lies, and everyone believes him.
If I lose my way with a compass and a map I made, looking for my shadow in the dark. What happens if I look for you with a compass and my tennis shoes and find you holding someone else's heart? I'm sleeping on your bedroom floor. I'll let my feelings wash ashore. You told me I'm projecting and I don't move with much direction anymore. I don't know what I'm I can't believe I care. Soon I wanna pinky swear. I'm leaving, I'll call you when I'm there. What happens if I lose my way with a compass and a map I made? Looking for my shadow in the dark. What happens if I look for you with a compass and my tennis shoes and find you holding someone else's heart? So I get up and I get dressed, playing Pokemon on my old 3DS. There's a title card that says you gotta be the very...
Hi, okay, so it's actually 4:47. I accidentally have like 3 separate reading updates to give you. I finished this and then I was just really hungry, so I went downstairs, I had a pasta salad. I then decided, well, I'm downstairs now, I might as well just do my baking. So I did all my baking. A couple of them are still going in the air fryer because we can't use our oven. Like, I'm having to do like 6 at a time sort of vibe, so some of them are still going right now. I listened to The Only One Left by Rising, is that what it's called? I'll explain that in a minute. But then what ended up distracting me this much, I'm only just updating you now, is because after like listening to The Only One Left in the audiobook, I was like, I want to save that for when like maybe I'm a bit busy and I need to listen to the audiobook. But right now, like, I wasn't busy, I wasn't really doing anything, so I was like, okay, I'll just pick up Behind Closed Doors for like an hour straight. I just didn't stop reading it. First of all, this one, I have no idea what to even say about this. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was really enjoyable. The only thing is that, okay, so it like ended up being like a really like okay book all around. The only thing that I ended up loving was the ending. The very, very small little sliver of an ending that was genuinely the funniest, most coolest thing ever. Like, it was exactly what needed to happen, and it just made me love the main character like even more. I ended up disliking all of the characters. I remember when I was like loving all the girls, they were all such distinct women, even like her friends that she made, yet alone like the wives, and then all of a sudden they all turned out being really annoying. I didn't really like them. It wasn't confusing because I wasn't confused, but like the situation was like confusing. It was a bit too chaotic and a bit too like mixy matchy with like everything that was going on. I was just like, really, like all of this is happening? Like, could you not just like picked 1 or 2? Just having said that, it worked. I wouldn't say that the storyline went the way that I wanted it to go and the way I was excited for it to go. I think I really liked that there wasn't any clear bad guy. They were all so flawed and also psycho. I really liked that. I thought that was quite interesting, quite like not memorable. Like, I remember it, but like it's just not an amazing book. So 4 stars. But I enjoyed it. I really do recommend it if you like some domestic thrillers. Then I ended up listening to The Only One Left, and I actually can't remember where I got up to. I can't remember. Basically, I'm enjoying it so far. It is entertaining. I really want to read as many seaside horrors as I can, or like at least summary horrors. Like The Wives was like very just like domestic, and I just wanted like something else. So I was like, this will be good. I was really excited for it because I've loved 2 of Riley Sager's books, which was The Last Time I Lied, which is brilliant. That was an amazing book. That was like genuinely like a 6-star book. Home Before Dark, that was really good. I don't really know what this is going to be. I thought it's going to be like a haunted house vibe. I don't think there's anything kind of supernatural going on. It's more just like weird. Sometimes it kind of like the flashbacks to Laura's life kind of give me Downton Abbey vibes sometimes. Anyways, I haven't explained what this is. This girl who is like a care worker, she basically gets paid to look after a whole bunch of like elderly people who just need care, right? She gets employed under this massive rich mansion on the cliffs. There's a famous murderer there who is basically bedbound, and no one wants to work for her basically. I think people that have just like ran away. So this is one girl that just ran away, right? I ended up taking care of her, and a whole bunch of like weird things keep happening. One thing that I usually always struggle with Riley Sager's books are they always just seem like a book or a movie that I've read before. Lock Every Door, Home Before Dark, and The Last Time I Lied, and I can literally give you a movie for each of those books. It doesn't hinder my reading experience. I think it almost adds to it because it feels more vivid. Either they're just so vivid in the way that he writes and just such movie books that I can't help but relate it to a movie. I'm not sure, but Lock Every Door, the one that I connected to that, I felt the movie was so much better in my head, so know, so far, I don't think it reminds me of anything. Obviously, I said it reminds me of Downton Abbey, which I think it does. It doesn't give me anything, which is interesting. It still feels vivid. Every one of his books should always just be a movie. And I'm honestly really shocked why no one has ever made his books into a movie. This, wow. This is so cool. I don't even know what's going on. It's genuinely gonna be like the coolest book. Okay, so basically, it's about this girl, and she's called Grace. She's like the most perfect housewife, like stunning and beautiful, and just like cooks such amazing meals and cleans and keeps such an amazing house, right? Usually everyone is just so insanely jealous of her, but this one girl, Esther, she's always just thinking like, well, why are they never apart? Why does she never answer her own phone? Why can she never meet for lunch without Jack, her husband? Why are there bars on one of the bedroom windows? It just shows the psycho that Jack is. Flipping between present and past is so good. Sometimes I feel ill, like I genuinely feel ill and a bit sick from reading this. He's not even done anything like too bad yet, but like the sort of person that he is makes me uncomfortable, like ill. He is properly just crazy. And I really love Grace as a character. Esther is slightly annoying at the moment. It feels like she's really weirdly judgmental of Grace, but then also like keeps asking all these questions which is gonna get Grace in trouble. So like, I don't know. You're seeing all these red flags that keep happening in the past. It's like a classic case of like when he's like really kind to your face and he's such an amazing guy. So like you should be able to trust him. You just see like the manipulation of how it goes in the past. It's so creepy. The red flags are so subtle, but I was like, what? It's like one time he met her parents for the first time, and basically her parents are kind of like really like mean and very distant towards her and don't really like entirely care about her. They always just seem kind of like uninterested in what she gets up to basically. And so obviously if you met them you'd be like, oh, like I'm really sorry that like your parents are like that. But after meeting them he goes, they're perfect. I was like, what do you mean? I'm gonna go check on the cookies. Once they've cooled down I can then do the icing for it. I'm just so excited for it. Wait, I don't think I've even told you what I'm making because I've just been filming what I've been doing, so I haven't even spoken to you about it. So basically I'm making pumpkin cookies, cream cheese frosting. I'm so excited for it. It's basically like a pumpkin pie, except I don't have to do all the crust and everything. I really hope it tastes good. If it doesn't taste good I'm gonna cry. Oh my goodness, they look so cool. I think they look so good. They look so good. Okay, we're gonna do a taste test. They are quite soft. And these are the best thing I've ever made, hands down. I want another one. Hello. So, I thought we'd have a little bit of a pamper session whilst I talk about the books I've read. I'm not sure what time it is, because I think it's like 9 o'clock now. That I've been bad at updating you, but like I've been eating cookies and I finished the book, ready to go, and I finished this. So I've been doing a lot and I couldn't put this down. Let me put a face mask on first. Where's my face mask? I've got 3 to choose from. These actually happen to be from, I want to say Christmas time. And I keep saving them for a video. I keep thinking like, oh my god, this would be so cute to do in a video. And I just haven't ever done it since Christmas. So we got these to try out. There is De-Stress, Rich Moisture and Hydrating. I feel like I need some moisture. De-Stress can be for uni. Kind of want hydrating. Let's do it. How long do I put it in for? Like 10 minutes? 15 whole minutes. Let's think about what I can tell you. What's it called? Behind closed doors. I don't know why I was gonna say the Summer Pretty. I can't open it. I like the ending. I actually can't with it. I wish I could just like read it out to you. The whole ending. I can't even tell you why I love it and who it's involved with. But like it is genuinely the coolest endings to a book, because I think that it got to the point where I thought it was really ridiculous and I didn't exactly think that that was what needed to happen. That wasn't how I thought that it should have ended for a little bit. Then at the very end I was like, oh my god, actually no, like I completely agree. That was like the best way to do it. I actually gasped so many times. I was just like, throughout it. So obviously like in the past you're getting his manipulation and how she came to be in this position. In the present you get to see them interact with other people and the little hints, like little drops of things that he does that are like really psycho. I thought that the pacing of it was really good, in the sense that it had like the little flip between past and present. I thought that was such a good idea. I'm so stressed I can't open it. I feel like it's defeating the point because I'm like touching it with my hands. Not that they aren't clean, but oh my god, this is, I'm just gonna shove it on my face and wipe my way down. It's like so creepy. I look so creepy right now. I feel like everything he did was so psycho and so manipulative and so calculated, which like makes him such an interesting person. Like he made it seem like he was in power of everything, and he low-key honestly was. It did feel kind of unrealistic in some parts where he thought of everything. I was like, sure, really? Like, but I guess if you're that level of psycho, you probably do think of everything. At the end of every chapter, my mouth would just drop because I'd just be like, oh my god, what did I just read? Some of the things that he did was so psycho, I felt ill. It was scary, some of the things that he did. And the whole room scene, the one where they're at the dinner table and they're like, what colour's her room? He says red. Literally creepy as hell. Like, it's so scary. He's probably one of the most scariest characters I've ever read about. Like, the fact that he's so like normal, all this is underneath him. I'm sorry if there's like a camera change or something like that, but basically my phone ran out of storage, so I'm just using my mum's. I think it's always making videos. Anyways, Millie was basically her younger sister who had Down syndrome. She's just so sweet, and she's actually just so smart. Like, this thing she did, I was like, oh my god, I love her. I just honestly love Grace. I think that her acting, her perseverance and her bravery are just like unmatched. She's probably one of my most favourite characters I've read about in a while. There's so many parts where I was actually crying, and it's not the parts where you'd expect me to cry. It's really, really odd of me, but I was started crying at this book at one point. And I honestly, I love the question, what colour is Millie's room? That question has just come up about a million times. Or like that whole idea of what is the colour of Millie's room has come up so many times in this book, and each time it just gives me goosebumps. It's so good. I'm so happy that I picked it up. There's obviously a reason why this is so popular. It's so good. I've read a lot of domestic thrillers back to back, and that is just not giving me the vibe of SUMMERWEEN. I want to have some sort of like seaside vibe, so I think that hopefully The Only One Left is going to give me that, because I know it's by the cliffs and stuff, so we can see what happens there. Okay, I'm going to take this off now because I feel like I've had it on for like hours. I hate how like glowy these things make me look, because like as an oily person I don't like anything with glow on, because then I feel like it makes you look oily and that just gives me trauma, because if I ever look any ounce of oily it freaks me out. I would put moisturiser on. Is that weird to put moisturiser on top of this? It just says massage it in, so technically if I'm massaging it in with moisturiser, is that the same vibe, or is it like getting rid of what was on there? I don't know. Put a little bit of moisturiser on. A little bit of moisturiser isn't gonna hurt. I wouldn't like the oily queen. Plan is listen to the audiobook. I'm just gonna lie in bed like a mummy and just close my eyes and then like picture the book as I'm reading it. It's really glowy. I actually kind of like it. I think the most upsetting thing that I've ever done is buy this, because it's so good, but like, do I look like I got the money to keep buying this? Like, I wish I did. Like, it's so good. I am a big lip balm person. I will always have one on me at all times. I apply it like every hour. I have like refined my taste on what I like it to feel like, and this is just exactly how I want it to feel like. I'm gonna go. Goodbye. Okay, so update really quickly. I'm enjoying it, but it's kind of getting a bit ridiculous. Like, it's so quick to just listen to. Like, I think I'm listening to it on like 2.6 speed now. Easy to get through, and the chapters feel quite short, so it's nice like quick like movement through it. It's feeling really ridiculous at the end of every chapter. At the end of every chapter there's always just some sort of like, not cliffhanger, but like new piece of information that's dropped, and it's getting to the point now where it's like at the end of every single chapter, 6 minutes past midnight, like it's so outlandish, every single little bit that's dropped. Like, I'm just like, okay, cool, like great. It's just making it feel really ridiculous. I'm interested to see what the hell storyline is gonna be. It kind of flips-ish back and forth. So you have Lenora's story when she was a girl living in the house. It's very much like weird, creepy Downton Abbey vibes, right? Her family are like psychos. Like the sister and the dad, psychos. Also, there was a piece of drama that was dropped at the end of chapter 7, and I did really enjoy that. There's been so many different shock factors that have been pushed in there to the point where now none of them feel shocking, because there's so many different things done for shock factor. It feels too forced. One thing that's slightly annoying about the main character, I don't really like the main girl, because she's really inserting herself into the whole murder mystery thing, because basically the whole like kind of plot point is, did Lenora kill her family or not? Basically she was the only one left, and so no one really knows, and because there's no evidence then she can't be arrested for it, but everyone's always just like convicted her themselves. She was put on pause for her job, right? And then now she's been brought back, and the first thing she does is try and do anything but her job. Like, but like, I'm having such an enjoyable time, and like his writing is just so entertaining. I'm just sat in bed like this, just like closing my eyes and like picturing it, and in my head it's a really pretty house. So also I watched the episode of Submarine from Gravity Falls, and oh my god, it's actually really entertaining. I watched Gravity Falls like 2 times over, maybe like years ago. Bob's Burgers is like my all-time favorite TV show, and it's got Louise, the voice actor, in it as Mabel, and I never once realised that. I don't know how I never realised that. Sometimes Mabel will say something and I'd be like, and like in my head it's like Louise saying it, so I'm like, oh, she's being mean, but she actually actually wasn't, like, because like Mabel was just not a mean character. It's so funny. They carve watermelons for SUMMERWEEN. That makes so much sense. You carve a pumpkin in autumn and you carve a watermelon in summer. I wanted to watch Monster House, but I'm so tired. I just want to hurry up and read this book. Hello, we have another book haul. It seems like all the books are just coming at the same time. This one came ripped already, so I'm just grateful that it's not raining outside because I'd be screwed. Okay, so we have another 4 books. I bought 3 uni books and then 1 book just for me. I had wanted the different edition. It's fine, it's basically a free book, so I'm not gonna... Have you seen the really pretty edition that's been going around? I really prefer that one. Like, I hate this edition with a passion. This one has drawings in. Oh my god. Obviously, as I said, I wanted to buy one of my favourite books of all time as the free book. So in my last book haul, I got this one. I didn't like it. Because you know, it's the thing where sometimes one of the books gives you a different cover. So I'm going to have to give this to a charity shop after having paid for it. And I was like, okay, look, it's a uni book, so does it really matter what it looks like? But then in my head, I was like, no, I love Virginia Woolf. I want to own a really pretty copy of hers. So I decided to just rebuy it. I made sure that this is the one that I wanted because it said To the Lighthouse Vintage Classics, like in the title. I'm really happy because I think this is such a pretty cover. And it looks like this inside, so like it opens up. Then I had to get another one. Like, it's another situation where they could easily give this to me for free, but they make me buy a really like useless thing. They made me buy this entire book just to read one thing in it. I'm just like thanks for that, I guess. I'm just gonna have to give it away when I'm done. I've got this, The Mysteries by Tony Harrison, and it's just a collection of plays, I think. And the play that I have to read is The Nativity. Then for my creative writing module, I have to read In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I wanted to get a different edition of this. The edition that I saw looked really nice, and then instead I got this one, so thanks again, Model Books. I can never be angry, and I never find myself being angry. It's just always slightly upsetting. I'm like, great, again. The covers may vary. Okay, wait, I'll show you the time quickly. I've just been talking to you for like a while. Oh my god. Oops. Okay, that's the time. I've been reading since 12, so I'm actually being really bad at updating you. It's because I've just been reading, okay? Sometimes, like, when you listen to an audiobook, you just don't want to move from that place. So that's just what I've been doing. Last night, I finished The Only One Left. I don't entirely know what I want to rate it. I feel like I want to give it, like, a 4.5, maybe. But in the end, I ended up loving, like, probably majority of the characters. I thought they were all so complex. There's a part of the ending that I thought was so random and didn't fit and just seemed so genuinely random because it happened to a character that we didn't really know much about. It was really out of the blue, and it just wasn't, like, a realistic thing that I thought should have happened, really. But then the very, very ending, I thought it was so sweet and just a really cool little thing to add on to it. Yeah, I just thought it was a really, really sweet book. In the end, it was really weird. It never got scary. It's all very much just a quick, fast-paced mystery. I've worked out that I got 11 hours, I think, because I was reading till 1 a.m. yesterday and I started at 11. So I read for 13 hours yesterday. So my aim today is to read for 11 hours. I started dead 11. I am really enjoying it. I'm not too much of the way in. I think that so far it's really spooky, and there's been some things said that is making me think that it's gonna be like about like nightmares. I love horrors about nightmares, genuinely my favorite books. Because now that I'm saying that, there was something else that came up that made me think, oh, it's not about nightmares, that's just what the main character went through, which like I'm still enjoying it. It's a very like unique book, or unique in the sense of books that I've read so far. I've never read a book quite like it, but it's so cool. I love the setting. I know that it's set on an island. I love like the history surrounding the island, basically about this entire island who all live as if they're stuck in 1995, or is it 1994? I can't remember. But they constantly watch the O.J. Simpson car chase, all dressed the same. It's all very like creepy and culty. If anyone steps out of line, they go missing. Especially the start of it. I've never read a book like that, like where it's genuinely weird. The way that the author chose to include that in the first chapter or something like that, I think that was so smart because it was nothing like what I've read before. Because it almost feels like not exactly what the story is about, because it then jumps to something else. But it does feel like the author shows you a key moment that really just summarizes the entire island. It's so weird and creepy and just so not the norm, but then everyone starts acting like that's okay, and then all of a sudden you start at the start and you start following Harper the brother and Willa the sister. It gives you that massive really crazy thing, it drops you in the deep end, shows you what the entire book's about, and then you start back at normal. It basically follows this girl Willa who goes to the island in search of just like why her son was obsessed with the island, if that makes sense. So she goes there, then she goes missing, and then her her brother Harper comes along and tries to figure out what happened to her. Like, it's quite like a snowy island. I think it's set during winter, so it's not feeling like it's a proper summer book. So I really want to read one that seems really summery, and I found one. I can't remember how I found it. It was really random how I found it, and it's basically this book set in Fowey. It's written by the director of Saltburn and Promising Young Woman, and it just sounds so good. The cover looks so pretty. Basically about these like creepy friends who are really young and they get obsessed with this murder case in Fowey. It's meant to be really like disturbing and funny at the same time, so I'm really excited for that. I hope it really creeps me out because I love weird books. I bought it. It was like, I think it was like 90p or something like that on Kindle. So hello, I apologise that the lighting is really weird, but basically it's accidentally 9 o'clock. I need to actually get better at updating you when I'm doing something like this. I finished at 11 and I was like, I need something else. I need something different. I need something disturbing. I need something weird. So I was like, straight away moving on to the monsters, and then I just finished that like really quickly by accident. I like ate that up so quick. It was 200 pages. I think I've literally never read 200 pages that quick in my life. Dead 11. I feel like I want to give it 4 stars because it was really entertaining as we were going through it. I think that what I wanted to happen didn't. It was very much like monster based, which like is cool. I feel like it's so up my street, like the whole monster side of things. I just feel like it was done, I don't know, why didn't I like it? I can't think of why I don't like it. I just, monster side of things. But the writing was very fast paced and entertaining. The audiobook was good. It could have gone one step further and been even more like scary and been even more disturbing. It was good, like it was average. It was like good amount of horror, but, like it didn't scare me. It didn't make me like want to cry, and it didn't make me feel like I can be scared of like that monster coming to get me. It didn't feel real enough, and that's such a ridiculous thing to say because like obviously it's a horror, it's not meant to feel real, but like I want it to feel like the monsters can come after me sort of vibe. Where the name of the book comes into play in the book, does that make sense? It was a bit underwhelming how that came into play, like how Dead 11 came into play. It was a bit underwhelming, but like it just wasn't scary. I feel like that's just what I wanted. Like it wasn't scary enough. I need to actually look on Goodreads and see if anyone else was saying that, because I feel guilty saying like, oh, I wasn't scared enough, so it's 4 stars. It's gonna be scary to like a lot of people. Okay, this entire thing is a book they want to publish, so it all just felt like a recount. That was really cool. It made like, it had a little bits of like tapes in that, which was really cool, and that's all enjoyable, but it just felt like a bit distant because it was more of a reflection. So that's my piece on it. I've got 2 hours and I'm honestly quite tired, so I'm thinking that I won't be reading any more books for this readathon just because I want something to scare me. I want to be scared to death, please. So can someone please give me recommendations that genuinely scared you, but like you feel like this could genuinely happen to you, whether it's monsters or paranormal or like things to do with nightmares or creepy kids or anything, like, and you've been so genuinely terrified you cannot sleep and you feel like that's like a real thing and it could happen to you. Please can you give me a recommendation for that, because I need it ASAP. Being the Monsters by Emerald Fennell, that wasn't as disturbing as I wanted it to be. However, having said that, I think it's genuinely going to be one of my all-time favourite books. Okay, I gave it 4.5 stars, which I know sounds like a bit weird, like what all-time favourite book where it's 4.5 stars? Yes, because it was just so unique. Unique in the writing, unique in the storyline, even unique in the cover. Like it was just a brilliant book, one that I will never forget. Emerald Fennell, girlies, is actually Camilla from The Crown. I read a book by her. How cool is that? I've given it 4.5 stars. It is basically about this hotel where this girl goes to stay with her auntie and uncle when it's like the summer holidays, and it's a hotel in Fowey in Cornwall. And I feel like it was so cool. You learn a lot about like mythology surrounding Cornwall, which was really entertaining. And it's because she's like an orphan. Okay, so she lives with her nan for the rest of the time, but she goes here in the summer, and they own a hotel. It's a horrible life that she's got. Like properly like emotionally abused when she was at home with her parents, and then he died, and then emotionally neglected with her nan. Yeah, physically abused by the uncle. Like she's just got a horrible life, right? So it kind of manifests into this like weird creepiness, like where she likes different things. She likes murders. It's just very weird. She does weird things, okay? And she's like 13 or something like that. Then this 13-year-old boy comes to stay with his mum, who's really weird. He's like 6 foot, and his mum makes him wear like kids' clothes. Honestly, the whole entire time I was like fully being prepared for him to come out as like a 16 or 18-year-old or like a 30-year-old, something like that, because it felt so creepy. Like, so basically they form this like really weird friendship, and then the town of Fowey will end up dying, and so they then take upon themselves to try and find what's going on. It's a whole bunch of girls that keep dying, okay? So basically they just get really addicted to these murders, and they're both little creepy little weirdos, okay? The author could have gone deeper with the disturbingness because it's YA, okay? I feel like if she'd made it adult, it'd be hard to make adults read about a book where the main characters are kids. I can understand that, and that is like narrowing down your readers, okay? I completely understand that. But I genuinely think that if you just made it a bit more adult and made it really screwed up and really disturbing, it would have been like an all-time favourite for me, like genuinely like 6-star book, because that was just what was missing. You just just felt so many small disturbing things that would happen, so many weird things that they'd say or do or think, and I'd be like, ooh, that is creepy, that is weird. But then like it then didn't progress. I feel like the ending, it could have just landed with something so disturbing or something like that, but it didn't, and I'm just like slightly upset about it. Or actually, I know what I would have wanted for the ending. I would have wanted a prologue, okay, where it sets it up like a couple years later down the line and it shows what the kids are doing now. That would have been really like disturbing if you then got into the disturbingness. I wouldn't have minded all the little hints, the disturbingness throughout, appetizers for the main meal and the prologue, if you then just completely like disturbed me with what they're like doing years later, okay? That'd have been so good. But we didn't get that. The writing, oh my god, I loved the writing. It felt so really weirdly whimsical and comical and like almost like a Roald Dahl book. Cozy, small town, and just like really funny names, like exactly like a Roald Dahl book sort of vibe, except make it disturbing. It was also really funny, like really funny. I was actually laughing. One thing that I'm going to tell you. Okay, I love dark romances. Throughout this book, I was so confused because the main boy character, he is literally like every dark romance character that I've read about, honestly. Like the psychopathness, the disturbingness, creepy control, and especially when I've read dark romances where it started off when they're younger and it grows up when they're older, right? Don't judge me on what I just said, because if you don't read dark romances, I don't think you understand. What am I reading? Because like, should I be liking him? Because he's literally like every single dark romance character that I have to read. My dark romance brain, I was like, wait, what? Like, is he meant to be good? I don't really get it. I haven't shown you the rats today. Raji. What little girl he is. Purring. You like being kissed. He's purring. You just love your cuddles, don't you, Raj? You little purry fairy monster. Can you hear him purring? You're so cute, I got my dinner on my floor next to me because I was like eating it, and now he's trying to eat it too. No, beastie. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed. Please let me know if you have any really disturbing books, because I really want to read them. Like, I want to be like absolutely screwed up, really terrified, and like even disturbing. This Summerween, although I had lots of fun with it, I did read some really good books I've been wanting to read for a while. I wasn't scared, and I love being scared. I think the whole point of Summerween for me is to be terrified, so I feel like I just really have picked the wrong books, although I really did enjoy the books. I think my favourites would be Monsters and Behind Closed Doors, whatever it's called. Oh no, here comes Simbi. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye. You're so cute, little rats. The rats want to say goodbye too. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Oh my goodness. You're such beasts. Yes, you are.